Good morning and welcome to the Legit Real Estate Podcast. I am TJ Chofi here this morning, as always, with Holly Rigoli. Holly, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. You look lovely as always. What's new today? What's going on? It's about 8 degrees. I
All
can't
right, so we're
handle it.
a little warmer than last week, right?
Is
Um,
it? It was
I
11 when
think
I started the
so.
car this morning. 11.
What was it? Last Friday, my daughter went skiing, and when they went skiing, it's only like an hour away, and I think they clocked it at 5 below.
Come on. There's no reason
hmm
for that. There's no reason for it to
It
be that cold.
it is so cold. This is already the roughest winter we have had in a very long time.
It
A
is.
very long time. Like I don't know how your solar is doing, but mine are covered. I've got like maybe
Um,
about a foot of one of my panels uncovered. How is yours?
yeah, they sent me a thing saying you're just not getting anything. And they're like, when the
Yeah.
snow melts, do it. And
I,
it's just so high to go up there and wipe it off. So it's whatever. I'm just going to pay some electric bill.
I thought about going up there and trying to get a ladder and like scraping off some of the snow. I will say I got my electric bill in. Now, I think I've told you before, I am 100% electric over here. Heat, air conditioning, electricity, like I don't have anything but electric. I thought my bill was going to be in the thousands and was
Yeah,
pleasantly surprised that I was actually under 700.
I have mine over here somewhere. I don't know where the hell it is, but I've been waiting to open it. I paid online, so I don't really look at the bill, but I will this month. It's
Yeah, I
out of control. It's the whole country too, and they were saying that the snowfall in January, even though it really came in pretty much one storm, but it was like top
Mhm.
10 all time snowy months, and it was like one shot deal, and it's never gonna melt because it's so damn cold.
That's what's so frustrating about it. We talked last week about my high tunnel collapsing, which has been frustrating, but I did put in, I guess it's going to be covered by my insurance, thank God.
Oh,
But
that's good.
I still want to go out there so that we're supposed to get more snow this weekend, but I need to try to take that plastic top off of it so that we don't get more weight and potentially more. I don't know if it can crush it anymore, but I need to try to relieve some of that pressure on the rest of the structure and hopefully not have to replace the whole freaking thing.
I live near on Atwood Avenue. There's what do you call a place where they grow flowers? What do you call those places?
Greenhouse, like a nursery.
Yeah, a nursery. There's a nursery, and they have big like industrial sized ones. One of
hmm
them it's up because no one paying attention to this shit, right? Because of your story. One of them it's up, but the other one they took the top off, and it's just the bars there.
Oh, I drove by that yesterday. I was like, oh, look, theirs look fine. Um,
The ones to the offset to the right, if you're looking at it from Atwood Avenue, it's off on the
yeah,
other side. You were over there. What are you doing down here?
going to the pharmacy.
Your pharmacy's down way the heck down here.
hmm Yeah, my only other option is there's a CVS that's a little bit closer to me, but they don't always have everything because they're in the woods. And I find that they don't have all the medication sometimes. Not that we're
They
like,
got like they got
yeah,
like 10 people's prescriptions because that's the only ones who use them.
yep.
Oh, so
So,
you come down. Oh, you gotta let me know. We can go to lunch on Atwood Avenue. You can come see my house. I don't know.
oh,
Whatever.
that's
Whatever.
funny.
Right in my that's like walking distance. Anyway,
It's
what's
literally
going on
only
in the real
20
estate world
minutes
right
for
now?
me. You make it sound like I live in the middle of nowhere.
Well,
Um,
20 minutes there, 20 minutes back. Now we're talking about 40 minutes.
yeah.
You're buying the school
Well,
bus, you're talking about an hour.
I had to drive to Providence yesterday to bring my son to the doctors to have something checked out. So, all right, so I feel like a bad mom. I had him doing masonry work at my multifamily because there was some brick that was spalling. So I bought some mortar for him to patch up the walls in the basement. Um Now he did a little bit over the summer, he did a little bit over Christmas break, and he knows he's supposed to be wearing a respirator, but he forgot his respirator in my car, and I got there to pick him up and he's standing there and it's just a cloud of dust because he's sweeping the
Uh,
concrete dust, and I'm like, no, I'm like, you're not wearing your respirator. And he has had a cough since then, but it's like on and off. It's not like he's sick. Um, but he's had, and it's just a very like forceful cough. So I was like, you know what? It's been over a month. Let me just go get him checked out. So, um,
he's
luckily
got like he's got like a cinder block worth of dust in his chest.
I was worried about it. The doctor listened to him, said his lungs sound clear, but I guess she said there can be like a walking pneumonia. She's like that you can't tell from just listening to the lungs. So she's like, "Do you want a Z-Pack? And just in case, it'll take care of it." So,
Hmm. There we
so
go.
the things we learn and I got to enforce. Oh, here's another thing. Okay. So yesterday, my son, he had applied, he's applied to a few different places, I think 11 different places because he's 16 now and he can work.
Hmm.
And we're like, you know what? You're going to be driving soon. You have to pay your own insurance, your own gas. Like, you got to get a job. And so he applied. Everything is online now. Like I tried to make him
Hmm.
walk into Target to apply and be like, you got to walk in and you got to show them you want this job. And he's like, Mom, I already applied online. I walked in. He walked right back out. He's like, yeah, they said I have to apply online. So he gets acceptance for one of the places around here that he has an interview. The
Yeah.
interviews to pick the time for a high school kid, right, that can only work part-time, nights, weekends. They only have interviews during the day, during the week. So I'm like, all right, they got block scheduling. The school is only like, it's under 10 minutes from where it's going to be. I'll go pull him out. One of his blocks that he doesn't have a lot to do. His blocks are like an hour and 45 minutes long. So we have plenty of time. So I get to his interview and we're like 25 minutes early. I said, just go in, tell him you're here, show up early. He walks out in less than 5 minutes. And he's like, I need working papers. I'm like, what? I'm like, I didn't realize, I guess, I don't know, when I was younger, if you're over 16, I don't remember needing working papers.
Yeah, I thought working papers for when we were like 14 and
Yeah.
you needed, because at the Twins Pizza, they would let you work when you were 14, but you'd be in the basement folding boxes. But
Yeah.
I never heard 16, you're on your own. All right, good.
Yep. So you still need working papers. So it's not only just, so I called the school. I'm on my way back to the school. I'm like, the people he was with said he needs working papers. I'm like, also, don't working papers come like after you've been interviewed? I asked him, I'm like, did the guy even interview you? He's like, I don't know. He's like, he asked me a couple questions. I'm like, well, what did he ask you? He's like, what my schedule was. And I'm like, he didn't ask you
Mhm.
like what kind of skills you have, what kind of, nothing, nothing. So we go, we get the working paper, we come back, the guy signs it. He's like, all right, now you have to go back and get like something from the school. So we back to the school, got a second working paper thing, go back. And then my son's like, yep, I dropped it off. I'm like, so what's the next step? He's like, the guy said if I get hired, that they'll email me. That afternoon, yesterday in the afternoon, he gets an email. He's hired without
No
them
way.
asking any questions. I'm like,
Because they don't give a damn. Are you
no, it's
alive and can
agreed.
you be here? That's it. Are you
Yep, you're
alive and can you
alive.
be here?
You can
Yep.
breathe. You can, okay. So I just blew my mind. I mean, I got hired on the spot when I was younger as a teenager, but it was more like I remember my first job was in a dentist office. And I had a friend that I was in school with. Her mom worked there and she had been working, my friend had been working there. And she's like, I can't do this anymore. They need somebody to replace me. So it was like a personal introduction.
Mhm.
But I remember they at least asked some questions. Like I just blows my mind.
I mean, yeah, my first few jobs was like, the liquor store at the corner of my grandfather's street, the same people owned it. It was like, when you're old enough, you're gonna get this job. Great.
Mhm.
And then like D'Angelo's was half my friends worked there, so they were like, "Oh, somebody left. We need another friend." And that was kind of the way the guy got his people. But I know like the markets around here, even now, like I heard from my niece, like all you do is if you can work nights and weekends, they'll just give you the job. Like they don't care if you have a pulse, and that's why customer service is so bad because they don't even talk to these kids. And,
Mhm. So I
but
was like,
you're gonna get a
okay,
job.
it'll
What are
be
they starting
interesting.
kids at these jobs? Like what are they? What's the starting wage now? Like $15 an hour,
16.
$16 an hour.
Mhm.
I had like grown men career jobs when I was like right out of school, right out of high school. I started working as like a delivery driver at a rubber factory, rubber for jewelry. And my father gave me that job. It was a good job. And it was like 15 an hour. And it was like, wow, this is real money. And now it's
Mhm.
friggin' McDonald's.
That's minimum wage now. Isn't that
That's
crazy?
wild.
Yeah. All right. So we got to
I'm
talk a
thinking
little
about
bit
going to
about
get a job
real
at Walmart.
estate.
About to be working
Huh?
at Walmart for some $16 an hour. It's not bad.
No, no. He's going to be at a Dunkin'. Um, which it's great because he has customer service experience because we run a barbecue booth at the Situate Art Festival every year and he's run the cash register, he's run like all different parts of that,
I'll
so
tell you,
food.
interacting with the public's good. It's
Yeah.
good to talk to different kind of people and different kind of setting. It's really that's the best kind of job for a kid, I think, as opposed to
Yeah.
like I don't know, stocking shelves by yourself. That's kind of like
Yeah,
not
I
it.
think it's going to be great. I was just so blown away by the process. Um,
Can you be here? Do you have papers?
yeah. So you know what else happened this week? And I know I can't wait to see your face on this one because I know you get queasy even thinking of it. Um, I get I don't know if it was a call or a text from one of my clients. I helped them buy a house last year, almost April made it will make a year. It's like, Holly, what do I do? What do I do? I got shit in my basement. He's like, my pipe backed up. I don't know what to do. So I had a client, he bought a three family, and
Mm-hmm.
especially in these older three families, you've got cast iron pipes. So
Mm-hmm.
for the listeners out there that don't know about cast iron pipes rot from the inside out.
Mm-hmm.
So it can get rusty or I guess what they ended up finding. So I gave him a plumber, or I was gonna give him a plumber, but like this was like 9 o'clock at night, after 9 o'clock at night. We had been out. This was Saturday night. I was out at a gig. My husband had a gig in Pawtucket. So this is like actually I think it was 9:30, 10 o'clock at night when he reached out. So I'm like, who are you going to get to go out there in the middle of the night? And you've got a three family, you got anybody that goes to the bathroom and stuff's going to come out. So they started noticing some water, or they found it later, sewage was like around the washing machine and it was starting to back up into the slop sink in the basement. So we ended up calling one of the bigger name companies that has 24-hour emergency service. And I knew right away, I'm
Okay.
like, crap, that's going to
You
cost
paid
so
for
much
that.
money.
Mm-hmm.
So much money. So $800 off the bat for an emergency service call. And he's
Fucking
like, what am I
wild.
supposed to do? He's like, this is crazy. So they came out and they scoped it. They explained to him that I guess if you're like flushing like toilet paper or something, not only like, let's say, people that flush feminine products or things that go down that are not supposed to go down, you can also have dry spots where like the toilet paper gets stuck to the pipe and like it
Mm-hmm.
dries up and then it causes a blockage. So they had someone come and snake it with their big heavy duty snake. But before
Mm-hmm.
they came, he was trying to open the clean out and he got the clean out open and the shit just started coming out. It started shooting out.
No,
He's
I
like,
can't.
what do I do? Not only do I have a backup, he's like, now I got
Sell
a
the house
mess.
like yeah, you're gonna light yourself on fire. First, you're gonna light yourself on fire, take a bath in bleach, and then you have to burn the house down, probably. I think you're just
Yeah,
gonna do
that's a
that.
solution.
Just, just light it. Oh, that's
Oh,
wild.
yeah.
Those cast iron pipes. It's the way they rot from the inside out is very true. And if you're ever in a house or at a home inspection, you can start to see the little bubbles forming. It's too late. Like replace
Mhm.
it now because otherwise it's going to split, and once it splits, it's going to burst. And then, but he tried to. He asked for it by touching it himself. Oh my God.
Well, he was
Yeah.
trying, right? He's like, it's not stuff he does. He's in a completely different profession, but I'm like, dude, you're a landlord now. You got to figure out these things or when you
Yeah, some
hire,
things.
yeah, well, you hire people for
But
an emergency and they charge an arm and a leg and it sucks, but oh my god, the cleanup on it, then get a company to come clean it, right? So he had asked the same company that took care of emergency services. They gave him a price of like over 2 grand to do the cleanup, and it wasn't like everywhere. When he opened it, like he closed it right away because it shot out in like two lines, like it shot out a little. So it wasn't everywhere, it was just squirted a little bit.
but you can't just yeah. I mean, if it's any real amount, you have to do it right. You can't the bacteria. You can't do that. Just can't
Right,
do it.
but here's the thing, right? You can
You can
on the
bleach the shit
shelf,
out of it.
yeah, do it yourself. You get it all contained, plastic double contractor bags, whatever, get it
Oh,
all
it was.
squeegeed up, and then you gotta clean it and disinfect it. But if you have a company that's coming in to do that and they have to guarantee that they've got every bit of con
Mm. They're coming in
contaminant,
hazmat suits and they're coming in with chemicals that you can't afford or don't even know what they are. They're
yeah,
doing the whole thing in the thing. Matter of
yeah.
fact, wow, that's wild. One of my tenants this month his rent is going to be $1,000 short because underneath the closet there's a crawl space, and he sent me a video of it, and it was all like basically rat shit, mouth shit,
Oh,
and he said it was starting. The smell was starting to come up, and he's like, "Look." you can call a company or I can do it for $1,000. He had a guy. I was like, well, just do it, get it. I don't want to go in there. But the cleanup people, when they have to bring the hazmats, they're coming in expensive. Those guys do not work for free.
Yeah, and they have to have insurance. They have to have their insurances. They have to have guarantees that cover it.
Yeah.
And he was talking about too the company that came out. He's like, well, I had a friend that said they could do it, but they couldn't get there till the morning. He's like, what if somebody flushes the toilet and then just it gets worse? He's like, I can't tell everybody not to go to the bathroom. And he's like, and they guarantee it for like a month or two. So by them snaking it, if something else happens, they have to come back out and not charge anymore. So I was like, you know what, that's worth it. That's fair. But
Kind of peace of mind of them. But you know what? I would have flex sealed the shit out of that and waited until morning for $800.
oh my God.
I would have wrapped that pipe with 10 rolls of tape if I had to, but $800 is a lot.
But it wasn't just coming out of the pipe, it was coming out of the slop sinking, out of anything in the basement that it was coming out of fixtures.
Oh, I see. Oh, you said it
So
was in the sink, it was coming up. I thought it was dripping
yeah,
down. Oh no, yeah, yeah,
no,
what are you gonna do?
it was coming through like, because something was stuck in there blocking it. So like these are things, right? You have a tenant and people put stuff where it doesn't belong. I had another client recently. She sent me a picture. The basement, the water was coming up through her shower, like the floor in her shower, and was all over the floor. And it was because her daughter put an elastic and flushed an elastic down the toilet, and it was in a below grade bathroom. And when you flush, it has the ejector pump that pumps up. Well,
Mm-hmm.
when the elastic went into the toilet, it got stuck around the fan, and they had to take it all apart. And thank God she got somebody off side that could do
Wow.
that, but and she wasn't, it didn't back up that bad. But the shit that people put down the toilets, or the crap that can happen with cast iron pipes, it sucks.
Well, people that are on city sewer, they think they can flush anything because it's not really their problem. Like, are you on a septic? So
Yeah,
I'm much more aware of what I'm putting down the drains. Like, I'm not. We have a garbage disposal, but I unplugged it. I don't know why the guy had. You're not supposed to have one when you have a septic, but
yeah, not with
we
septic.
we um so nothing goes down the drains, and our kids have never had a problem with that. My brother used to be like that. My brother would like do science experiments, like, what can I get this GI Joe down the toilet? Like, he was like that kind of kid. But you think because it's not your problem, but it will be your problem. It will be.
Things can
So
get
back up
stuck.
somewhere. It can back up in your front yard. You don't know where the blockage is going to be, but um,
Yep.
that's crazy. Imagine
Especially if you have tenants, like I've heard tenants like, sticking, some people don't know or think that they can do it. You don't own the house, freaking flushing sanitary napkins down the toilet. Now, I know you're a guy, you don't might not
and using
understand this.
is
Huh?
that another word for a pad?
Yes. So the
Okay,
whole
all right.
thing with a pad, or think of a diaper, right? So you remember diapers, right?
This is legit real estate, boys and girls. This is legit shit. When you got tenants, you got to worry about this. All right.
So diapers are meant to absorb liquid. And what happens
Yeah,
when
they blow up, right?
they blow up, right? So pads that a woman has that absorbs their stuff. Oh, this actually happened to me in my multifamily.
Hold on.
I had a tenant,
I'm praying I can make it through the episode. I just need Jesus to bless me quickly.
you'll be okay, TJ. You'll be okay. This one is a so
All
I
right.
had a tenant that accidentally flushed one of their poise pads that's meant to, like, if you have a bladder issue and stuff like that, not even for
Yep.
monthly feminine things, but like it accidentally went into the toilet. And what happens is it's meant to absorb a lot of liquid. And as it absorbs liquid, it expands. So they didn't realize that it fell, and they flushed the toilet and it was backed up. They couldn't, nothing would go down. We had a snake at home. Oh my God, it was so gross. So I had a snake. I have just a little snake. It's like maybe 2 or 3 feet long. And then I had someone come and help me, and they have one on a roller, and they're trying to push it down. They're trying to push it down. They can't get it. Their arms are in the freaking toilet. I'm like, bless plumbers, bless them, because they
Yep.
deal with a lot of literal shit and gross
Mm-hmm.
stuff that I could just not. Um, so even they couldn't get it down. So we had to have someone come, and they had it like an industrial one, and were able to get it down for us. But that just expands. And thank God that was on the first floor. But I was like, and it was an accident. But there are some people I remember growing up, and like there was my boyfriend's sister would just flush them down the toilet. I'm like, you can't do that. Like, not
A little
okay. That
common
there's
sense will go a long way, though. Like a little common sense. I feel like that's something you should know without like almost anyone ever teaching you. Like, what are we doing? But I'll tell you, I didn't realize with diapers until I had kids because I never paid attention to other people's kids, and I was a kid. I don't remember it, but when you put a little kid in the pool with a diaper, that thing explodes. Like, I can't believe how much water a diaper can soak up. I remember dunking Luca in the pool, and it would just be like in seconds. It was like, well, this is gonna come off. It'd be like
you
this.
literally, I've had them explode, right? Like where it's filled with like a gel, like the gel like collects it and collects it and collects it. And especially if the kids are sitting in a puddle or playing outside and stuff like that, I've literally had the diaper like explode. It's so gross.
I can imagine. But I mean, if you know it's just pool water, it's not really gross to me. That doesn't bother me.
No,
But
but if it's other stuff, you know.
yeah, right. Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm
sewage
so
sewage
glad I never have to
problems.
do that again. I will never do that
Um,
again.
Going back to the cast iron pipes. So I was in commercial property management before, and I had a 20-story building in downtown
Mhm.
Providence that was built in the 80s. So all of the pipes throughout the whole building were cast iron. They're still cast
Mhm.
iron, as you replace it as it goes. But so you figure built in the 80s, eventually those pipes start to rot out. And the way we would find out about the rotted pipes where we'd start seeing cockroaches, big, giant cockroaches,
Oh
when
my
like
God.
4 inches, 3, 4 inches, like big. I think in Florida
Oh,
they call them palmetto bugs or something. So in the sewers in Providence, this is where those roaches live. So for them to start coming out into the building, like, and we had very high end tenants. When I say, when you look up the richest people in Rhode Island, I think the top, like at least 12 of the top 20 were like in my building, like very high end people. And then we would be getting reports. Hey,
of
so
cockroaches. And they're like, what are we doing?
so and so was doing an interview today, and there was a cockroach crawling up the interviewee's leg,
Ah!
like huge. Or like one of the tenants had their own kitchen in their place, and so this is all like, they have meetings, they have gourmet chefs, and then they've got these
Roaches.
roaches coming out. So when we would start getting sightings of them, and then there was one day where it's like all of a sudden a pipe burst through the ceiling in one of the bathrooms. So it's
Oh my
like,
God.
oh, so you would get, like I said, they were kind of rot from the inside out. So there must have been like a hole, and it can be a tiny hole because they can come out when they're really small and then they get bigger, right? So we found, I mean, when a pipe breaks, it sucks. It's not like a water pipe where you've got stored water in it and it's bursting, but you've got sewage water in there. Thank God this was at like the top of the building, so it's not like you have all the stuff coming down. But we have had pipes burst through, and then you have to clean it all up and then replace the pipes. We dealt with that, and I'm sure they're probably still dealing with it because you've got a 20-story building, 400,000 square feet, and now, what do you do? The building's so much older. You got to take it case by case and replace the pipes as you need to.
Or else you got to. You know what they did a bad job of back then is accessibility with pipes. Like those cast iron things, they're buried behind walls. Like they're not. There's no access. Like you have to rip the wall down. You got to rip the wall down to get to them. I got one of my house in North Providence is all cast iron, and we were fixing a leak in the tub. So we opened up the ceiling, and I'm just looking at the pipe. I'm like, that's gonna go. I'm not gonna replace it because I'm not gonna own the house when that goes. Like I know it's gonna go. I'm selling the house before it goes because fuck that. You're gonna replace the pipes of the whole house, and they're buried behind drywall. And you take it's like it's like flipping the damn house.
Yep. I just stumbled upon some pictures. I was going through, and I have the house that I own in Connecticut. I bought it in either January or February of 2020. And it blows my mind, right? Because I got a call from a wholesaler. I walked through the house and I took a video, and it was like a 20-minute video. walked through, put an offer on the house, and bought the house. So it is a 3-story house and is 4 units now. It was 3 units when I bought it, but there was a section that I was able to just kind of close off. But I just I can't even believe I took that risk, right? I just walked through and bought it. Well, one of the things that was there when I walked through was on the first floor. You know how like usually you have pipes boxed off in a corner or something? You have the
Mhm.
waste pipe is like boxed, right? So the corner was like missing and there was a missing pipe. So what happened was is the pipe had broken between the second floor toilet and the first floor. So it was completely missing. So we
Okay.
go up to the second floor and you walk in the bathroom and the toilet just has like old dried poop in it
No.
because at some point when it broke, it must have broke when somebody had the toilet filled with shit. And it was just disgusting. It was so old though that there was literally no smell left to it. So that was good.
A bonus.
Um, but we had to
Yeah.
replace that pipe. And it's an old house. You've got the horse here and lath and all that stuff. Or lats. So when we did that plumbing, we replaced it, but I had a couple times where there was water that overflowed, whether the tenant like got water on the floor from the shower, or I think something was leaking around the new drain, and then it came down and then flooded my first floor. Not flooded like terribly, but it got on the tenant's couch, and then I've got
Ah,
this
shit.
ceiling that now has like these stains, or if it gets too wet, the plaster will eventually like fall down, and it's very water sucks. Waste
Water
pipes
does suck. It
suck.
does.
And
Waste
it,
pipe. Yeah, waste pipes, are especially gross, but all water pipes suck. Yep.
yeah. Yeah. And then in relation to that, as we're walking through the apartment, so the apartment that had the toilet with all the shit in it, we found all these gallon jugs that
Oh,
were filled with a liquid.
no, we're not just peanut jugs.
I was like, well, maybe they were making moonshine, maybe it was something. So
Wishful thinking.
we're in the process of cleaning up. And I had a cleanup crew come in, and that particular apartment had all this drop ceiling that we were taking down. So one of the guys is up taking down the drop ceiling, and it comes down on one of the containers, and somebody steps on it. When I tell you,
Oh my God, the
it
smell of ammonia, that'll burn your eyes out.
smelled so bad. It was
How do
definitely
people?
not moonshine.
No, it's a very distinct smell that we're all familiar with. But how do people live like that? Like, how do they live like that? First of all, my kids can't aim in a toilet. I don't know how big a toilet is, but imagine aiming in a bottle like that. First of all, that's one thing, and the second thing is just have that in your presence all the time. I just don't get it. I
I
just
mean,
don't
there
understand
was
how.
at least 10 jugs of pee.
That's a
Um,
lot.
yeah. So speaking of ammonia, I have a history of doing really stupid things. So I think I might have even told you this before, maybe even on the podcast. I don't know, but it's worth retelling. So that nastiness that was there, I decided to clean it up with bleach.
Just
You
starts to smoke.
Yes.
Did
So
it really?
well, see, it created toxic fumes. So
All right.
ammonia, and I did this when I was a kid. I was trying to help my grandparents clean their house, and my grandfather was babysitting me, and I was probably like, I don't know, 9 or 10. And I started just mixing all the cleaning solutions, ammonia and bleach and pine sol and just everything.
Maybe
And
all
my
that.
uncle happened to come over and he pulled us out of the apartment. He's like, you're gonna die. Like, got us out of there. And I was like, okay, I know I can't mix all the cleaning products together, but here I am thinking urine disgusting, gross, need to sanitize it. So I poured bleach all over it to let it set, and it created these toxic fumes. Yeah. And that was a time I almost died
That's
because of pee.
almost died because of pee. I get, it's a thing. We used to do that, mix the chemicals. We were unsupervised as children, so we didn't mix all kinds of shit. We would mix stuff from what's in there? Gas, oil, lighter fluid, antifreeze, like whatever's in your garage. We would mix that stuff and just see what happens.
Yeah.
See
Oh,
what
and
we
I
could
dare
light
you to
up on.
drink it too.
Yeah.
I double dog dare you.
You know what we used to do, and we're getting close on time. Had nothing to do with real estate, but we used to take rocks that we would find like in the driveway and stuff, and smash them with a hammer to see how different rocks would break. Like some break really easy and some won't break at all. And that was like our game. We would smash rocks on the wall. We would sit in our wall, boom. One day my brother comes running in the house with a hammer just sticking out of his head like this because he hit the rock and the hammer shot back in his head like this. Runs in the house, hammer in his head. My mother, not known for keeping her composure, God rest her,
Oh,
loses her absolute shit. Now Nikki had to get, I think he had to get like 8 staples in his head because
oh my
she didn't know
God.
whether to take it out or not. So he's like on the stairs crying his eyes out. I'm crying because I'm in trouble for this.
Oh my
My fault.
God.
Yeah, hammer in his head. Yeah, that explains a lot of shit.
It it's funny
Yeah.
you say that because literally last night, because I have anxiety. I have the stupidest anxiety about the stupidest things. Um, I think I was talking to you earlier. I'm running out of wood, but I had a bunch of trees taken down to put my high tunnel up, and I have a bunch of wood in the back. And I'm following this girl on social media who is amazing with cutting wood. And I'm like, I want to learn how to use an axe. So here I am last night. I'm literally going to bed because I was talking to some of the guys at Scouts, and I was like, "Can you guys teach me how to use an axe properly? Because I want to use an axe, and I'm gonna get all muscle and in the summer, in my spare time." I want to get out there and chop some of that wood. So would you know, last night I go to bed and what I'm thinking is, well, how do they really attach the heads to the handles? And what happens if I come up and over and it falls on my head?
You don't come up and over is the first thing.
Well, no, you pick it up over your head, I
To
think.
the side, don't you?
I don't know.
I would
We
go to the
learned it once
side.
at Scouts, but they were teaching the kids more, and I might not have been paying attention as much as I should have. But
You know, people go to bars and throw axes. I don't understand this idea. There's bars where you go and throw axes. Like,
I've
no,
done that before.
fuck no. I don't want to be around drunk people with sharp metal objects. Like, that's just not a place for me.
That's
Not a
true.
good place.
I have done that before. But yeah, so this is the anxiety that comes to
You know,
me,
like these
and
axes, like people do this like all day, day and night. Same axe for 40 years. The guy will have
yeah, yeah. But I
sharpens the blade. I
started
think it'll be
freaking
fine.
out. I'm like, well, how do they attach the heads to the handles, and what happens if it comes off? Because I have
Well,
had, axes or hatchets where the handles come off, and I'm like, but what's to stop it from coming off? So the anxieties that I deal with.
you know, be careful out there. So did you
Yeah.
when you just in the wood burning fireplace? Does it matter what kind of wood you're using, or can
Yes.
you just chop down any tree? Or you could use the right wood. It's gonna be dried
You
out,
have to
right?
use
You can't fix it.
hardwood. I know you can't use pine because if you use pine, it has the
It'll
sap.
stick up your chimney, right? This everything
It
gets
it gets all dirty. Like I just know that we order hardwood. A lot of times I think they say it's poplar and um I don't know. I don't know what a poplar tree is or if that's what they just call hardwood, but I just know that they've mentioned, oh yeah, you have poplar wood. And we took down maple trees and oak trees this year. So one of the things we do want to learn, we want to get a chainsaw and learn how to use it properly, like a bigger chainsaw. We have a small one. Because if we take down a couple trees a year and cut them up, then firewood is freaking expensive. It's like
is
250 to 200 to $300 a cord, and we need at least 3 to 4 cords a winter.
you know, it's amazing. Whatever you try and do, it's gonna cost you money to freaking keep your house warm. Whether it's wood, oil, gas, electric, solar panels for your electric. It doesn't matter. There's no escape. There's no getting out of here free. There's just no getting through a New England winter free. You got, and I feel for the people that just don't have the resources to do it because there are people that are like trying to burn newspapers, like because it is what it is and it sucks.
I literally, I save all my cardboard and the mail and stuff like that. That's how I get the fire started. But the cardboard will work really good with getting it up to heat. I think I was telling you with these cold temperatures we've been having, because I'm 100% electric, I cannot get my heat above 60. I have it set to 67. We usually have a night setback, but we haven't been putting it back. We usually put it back to like 64, 60 to 64 at night. Um, during the winter and then turn it back up to 67. But we are keeping it on 67. And by the time we wake up in the morning, it's like 58 degrees. And so I have to warm it back up by putting the wood stove on because I can't keep up with these cold temperatures. It
Well,
sucks.
the one bright spot now that Rhode Island and its infinite wisdom banned the plastic bags that you could reuse for 100 years, the plastic, and now everything's paper. And we save all those. Like I'm just throwing those in there. Whenever there's wood on there, I'm just throwing them in just to get rid of them, mostly. But they burn up quick, quick, quick. Yeah, I
No.
wonder if there's
Hey,
people that don't really have to like go. The thing they burn so quick is I can't see how you could heat your house with it. Like you need something with some staying power in there. But
I use that to just kind of get it. So right now we're down to the wood that we cut down in the fall, and there's some of it, they were dead trees, so they're like okay to burn, but they're still not as dry as they should be. So I really got to get a fire going, and it kind of like dries out as it's reaching the ash. So I have to use the bags, the boxes, and whatever I have. But we are like literally down to like the last of the wood. I might even see the guy I ordered wood from last year did not have any wood. So I'm wondering if I can get at least a cord that I might just have to have somebody drop in my driveway to get us through the rest of the winter.
yeah, because
Um,
this week, in fact, this week is going to be cold, cold, cold. They were
but
saying back in
yeah,
single digits overnight.
it's expensive. But you know what? I was telling my husband, I'm like, wow, I got our bill in, and it was the highest bill I've ever gotten since we switched our heating system and got the solar right around the same time. And so the highest bill I had gotten in the last 3 or 4 years since we did that was $750. And I was expecting my electric bill to be like at least 1,000 this past month. And I told my husband, I'm like, wow, I can't even believe that our bill is under $700. And he's like, you would not believe. He's like, he delivers propane for a living. And he's like, I'll go fill up people's houses and I'm putting like 1,000 like dollars worth in every 2 weeks. Can you freaking
That's nuts.
imagine?
I mean, are these people living on like with the heat on 75 though? That's a lot.
I don't know,
My oil
but
last month was only 400, and I'll tell you what it was. My oil fill up for it was $421, and the month
see,
before in January 1st it was 517. February 1st it was 421. Not bad.
no, when I used to do oil, what I did, I had a contract and I was paying like they would take my total from the year before and they would divide it out over 10 months and give me an estimated amount. So I liked that. I might not have been getting the cheapest oil, but I locked in at a price and I knew what I was getting. And I didn't have to worry about forgetting and calling because if I am left up to having to call for fuel, forget it. I will run out and we will be screwed.
We get it if it gets towards the end of the month, I'll give it a look. But usually, I just have it come on the first. But once the weather gets nice, I just shut it off because the
Mhm.
everything else is on electric except the heat. So I don't have an oil. That 10-month thing doesn't work for me because I only pay it really 5 months a year.
Yeah.
And then once I shut it off, it's not coming back on. So if we have a cold, if you know how sometimes April you'll have that week when it's in the 30s, suck it up, buttercups.
Yeah. But you know what? It's not bad. When you break it up through the year, they give you the credit back that you didn't use to put towards the next year's bill. So that worked fine for us. But I am not one, like I know some people call around to get the best prices every time they're getting like low. I would forget and we would run out of oil.
I used to get the best price from a certain company, and then they got bought by another company. But that company that was cheap, they didn't do any service, so you would have to outsource your service. Now the guy I go to, he does everything, and he's my son's baseball coach, so I trust him. I got one question before you get us out of here. Why is it that you look 10 shades darker than me, but in reality I am darker than you? What is going
Um,
on? Because I'm
I
like
have
darker than
light.
you with this. Yeah, I need some lighting because I look pasty. I look like dead.
I this is what I really look like.
That's why. That's why. That's why on TV everyone's wearing makeup because, like, look at me, I look like shit, and then you look like an excellent complexion. I'm like, I think
No,
I'm
that's
darker.
that's the lighting. I can play around with the lighting. Look, I look really dark now.
Luca called Tommy black yesterday. He said, "You're black."
Oh
Because
my
Tommy's
God.
Tommy's dark. Luca also told me this, my little one. He said, "Dad, I'm never going to be bigger than you, Dad, because Tommy is taller than Pam now, and he's coming at me. He's going to be taller than me, no question." He said, "I'm never going to be taller than you, Dad." I said, "Yeah, of course you are, son." It's like you're growing. You're growing at a good pace. Yeah, but you'll be dead.
Oh,
Thanks. And my birthday's this month, so he's very into the fact that I'm like on the back nine over here. He's like letting me have it, constantly
oh,
reminding me how
that's
old I am. My God,
that's
that's smart.
funny.
You'll
Kids are
be
so
dead.
nice.
So he's got me dead before he hits puberty. So I get about 5 years left in me, according to
All right.
Luca.
Well, I will say this again. I know this is going to be a weekly thing now. TJ, don't die on me.
I'm not gonna die on you.
I know
I'm not
you're
going to die
old and
yet.
all. I know you're
I'll be
so
back next week.
old.
I
You're
know.
so old. That's
I'm
what our
very.
kids look at us. We're in our 40s and they're like, you guys are ancient.
I remember thinking that my parents were old. My father's only 18 years older than me, but I remember thinking the adults were old, and then I think, my God, they were in their 30s when I was thinking that. I
Hmm.
remember thinking my grandparents were old. My grandfather's still alive. Now he's old. He's 96. But like he was in his like 50s. Like he wasn't old. Like I'm not gonna be old in 10 years. I can still do
Hmm.
shit. It's not as fast
Yep.
as I used to.
Perception of
Anyway, where can
children.
the people find us?
We are the Legit Real Estate Podcast. If somebody wants to, if anybody wants to share their stories, we'd love to hear stories. I like to have more episodes with sharing stories. You can send those to the Legit Real Estate Podcast at gmail.com. I think we are everywhere that you can find podcasts. So Spotify, Amazon Music, I know for sure. I did get us onto Apple Podcasts, I believe, or at least I tried to. I still haven't, I don't have access to that, so I can't check it, right? We do have a Facebook page and a TikTok, and I have an Instagram too. So find us, like us, subscribe. Oh,
Find
YouTube
us
is
like
huge. You can actually see what we look like on the YouTube pages, you know. So
somebody's liking and sharing because I told you my kid had to Google me as part of the school thing. And like the two things that come up first are like some basketball accolades and then the legit real estate podcast.
yep,
I'm like, wow, that jumped
that
over all my years of coaching. It jumped over all my sales in real estate,
yeah,
everything. It was like, nope, played in 2002, host the podcast. And damn, that's what it comes
yep.
down to.
And that's so funny because you do nothing with social media and nothing with
No, it's
the
just
internet.
off.
It
I'm
just
even off. I'm even off X now. I was on X as an anonymous account, and I decided I don't care anymore. I don't care to scroll through bad news. I'm good.
I get
I'm
it.
good. That's how we're
All
doing
right.
it.
Well, you
Ali,
have
I will
yourself a
talk
great
to you next
day.
week. Stay warm.
You too. Bye.
Bye.